Jai Siya Ram. Let's honor the divine power whose story is not just about sacrifice, but about courage and self-respect. What if I told you that the Sita that Ravana captured was never the real Sita? And what if I told you another story says Sita was actually Ravana's own daughter? These are secrets that could change the way you see the Ramayana forever. Today, we journey into the story of a queen who was not just a princess, but an incarnation of goddess Lakshmi herself. We will uncover the versions of Sita that the world seldom speaks about. This is a story that will leave you amazed and filled with respect. When Lord Vishnu took birth as Sri Ram in Ayodhya, his eternal companion, goddess Lakshmi, descended to earth with him. But her birth was no ordinary event. King Janaka of Mithila found her in a casket buried in the earth. That's why she was called Bhumi Putri, the daughter of the earth. She was named Sita because the plough that found her is called a Seet. Even as a child, she possessed incredible strength, easily lifting the divine bow of Shiva that mighty warriors couldn't even move. But hold on, the mystery deepens. What if I told you Sita and Ravana had a connection long before the kidnapping? A connection of revenge. Yes, some scriptures say Sita was the rebirth of sage Vedavati who cursed Ravana that she would be the cause of his destruction. But the most shocking secret is yet to come. Can you believe that according to the Adbhut Ramayana, Sita was Ravana's own daughter? Sita's life was a saga of sacrifice. She willingly gave up the palace luxuries to join her husband for 14 years in the forest. But her greatest trial began when Ravana abducted her. But here lies a secret twist. The Ramcharitmanas reveals that Ravana never succeeded in capturing the real Sita. Sri Ram, knowing what was to come, had already entrusted the real Sita to the fire god Agni. The one Ravana took was a Chaya, a shadow of Sita. Therefore, the famous Agni Pariksha or trial by fire was not a test of her purity. It was a divine act to bring the real Sita back from the fire's protection as her shadow form merged back into the flames. However, Sita's trials weren't over. After a washerman cast doubt on her character, a pregnant Sita was exiled by Sri Ram. She raised her sons Love and Kush alone in sage Valmiki's ashram. Years later, when society demanded she prove her purity once again, Sita did the unthinkable. This time, she refused to take any test. She rejected society's trial. It was her silent rebellion, her most powerful stand for her own honor. She sought justice from her mother, the earth, and was embraced back into her fold. This was not an end. It was the ultimate victory of self-respect against injustice. Sita's story isn't just about sacrifice. It's about the immense courage to say no when it matters most. She teaches us that true strength isn't in silent suffering, but in standing firmly for one's dignity. So, we've discovered how Sita was more than an ideal wife. She was a symbol of courage, self-respect, and power. She was the incarnation of goddess Lakshmi, the daughter of the earth, and a woman who lived by her own principles. If you loved this untold story, please like this video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to write Jai Siya Ram in the comments. This was the story of the power the world calls a goddess, but who was also a warrior for her own dignity. The next time you think of Sita, remember not only her sacrifice, but also her unyielding courage. See you in the next story with even deeper secrets. Jai Siya Ram.